Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Aquarius in mid-April 2020. What is going on, Aquarius? How are you guys doing? I hope you are doing well. All right, Aquarius, mid-April, almost May, technically by the calendar, but it's here. Your message is here. Anyway, guys, I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're doing fine at this time, wherever you are in the world, wherever you are in your life, whatever you're dealing with. I hope it's enough for you to bear, or it's you can persevere and you can carry through. I know many of us here in the States are climbing the walls, itching to get out, itching to get back to society and to the way life was. And I totally get that, but at the same time, let's all be safe and not sorry, huh? So Aquarius, wherever you are in this world, dealing with the current quarantine that we're living under, I hope you're able to deal with it safely and sanely, and I hope that you're as happy and healthy as possible at this time. Let's all stick with the plan, guys, and just relax a little bit. That could be for you, that could be for someone that you're dealing with, but I do feel a little bit of like push to get out in the world or get things back on track. And I feel the best way to do that personally is to kind of listen to the guidelines that are out there for us. I feel getting back to some semblance is around the corner. So let's not jump the gun is what I feel in when I shuffled your cards here. I sent a similar message to Pisces earlier today. I've had some readings in between then, so you and Pisces might have a little overlap in your anxieties or anxiousness to get back out into the real world. I get it. But again, let's not jump the gun, Aquarius, okay? Anyway, friends, aside from that, let's go ahead and get into this. I've shuffled off camera. Oh, excuse me. For those who are returning viewers, you might notice something different. Just to explain myself a little bit. If you're new here, this doesn't really, it doesn't make a difference to you. But I've changed things up a little bit, Aquarius, with my mid-month messages. I've asked my guides in my attempt to continue to grow as a reader and challenge myself as I become more in tune as a reader, as an empathic person, as an intuitive reader, to kind of, encourage me or give me some leadership, well, not even leadership, some guidelines, I suppose, that will help me become a better reader. So what you're going to see is something a little bit similar to how I do my personals. If you're familiar with my style, I normally shuffle and then prelay the cards and kind of get into your reading that way. But here we're going to shuffle live on camera, sort of how I did when I first started, but I was way less confident and way less knowledgeable back then. So anyway, that's my long way of saying there's a new format. If you like it, if it resonates with you, let me know. But that's what we're doing here today, okay? It's still a general, even though it is resembling the style in which I do personals, okay? Now, shuffled off camera, I will put a timestamp in the description box to let you know when the reading actually begins. If you want to jump ahead, go ahead and hit that. It's right down there for you. Enjoy it at your leisure. Also down there is information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. I have clarified with all signs because I've come into a few people recently who have contacted me. If you want a personal reading with me or with any tarot reader, I would assume here on the internet or out in the real world, if you are looking for a personal reading, please understand that you have to pay for it. At no point have I offered any free readings here except for during the lives that I've done. For people one-on-one, okay? If you want something personal, it's uploaded privately to YouTube. You will have to pay for that. It is a personal service, right? I've also had a few people just give money without any type of context or without following up on emails that I've sent that said, hey, I have your money. What do you want me to do the video on? So if you're someone who has emailed me and sent money, please, check your emails, check your spam folders. I am reaching out to get clarification. I don't want to take people's money for no reason at all. I believe in the exchange of goods and services. So if you are either of those parties, I wanted to clarify that information. But anything that you want or any other questions you might have regarding personal readings, you can email me at the same address at the bottom, and I will answer you as soon as I can, okay? Also down there, you'll see the link to my Instagram. I'm doing oracle pulls on there just about every day or every other day. If you want to follow, it's going to appear here so you can see it on screen. It is EmpathicFire Tarot on IG if you want to follow me over there, okay? Anything else? No, I don't think so. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Aquarius, let's see what your messages are for mid-April. Mid-April messages and insights for Aquarius, please. Messages, energies, and insights for Aquarius in mid-April. Please show me. Yeah. Oh, Aquarius. What's going on? A little stiff here. A little stiff in the energy. There it is. Oh, there was another one. So 2 of Swords and the 3 of Wands. Go up there. Thank you. Anything else? Yeah, they want more. There it is. And the High Priestess. Is that right? Anything else? No, they want me to start here. That's good. All right, so let's see, my friends. You've got 2 of Swords, 3 of Wands. Yikes with the, well, we'll get to it. And the High Priestess. Okay. I feel like suddenly very calm or very quiet. Like I feel the need to be quiet or calm down. Relax. Ease out. Ease out? Ease up. Thank you. Ease out. Ease up. That's what this feels like. And I think they want these 2 here, and this is a little lower. Okay. Oh, Aquarius. There's like a pause here. Wow, my tone and my energy just suddenly feels like either drained or like really sedated or calm. Or some of you getting high, like a little weed feels like, or you know, something more illicit maybe. I'm not accusing. It's more of like I don't take drugs. I don't use any drugs ever in my life. But I'm assuming like this is kind of what it would feel like a mellow. It's just like mellow out on something. It feels like you are being asked to do that, or you're asking other people to do that, or there's just like this need to be mellow. There's this need to be calm. There's this need or this desire for things to be like zen, like calm, you know, like just chill out, man. Just chill out is what this feels like. 2 of Swords, 3 of Wands. Two of Swords. No involvement. Wanting to take a break. Wanting to take a pause. Needing things to kind of freeze frame or not press. Do not press. Do not move forward. Do not pass go. You know, if we were playing a game of Monopoly, right? There's something about no, stop. No, let's wait. No, hold on a second. No, relax. You say that, someone says that to you, you say it to yourself, whatever it is. There's a no contest, no participation, no active movement, no speaking, since this is swords in some cases, no communication about something, no expression of something, no decisions made. It's just a stop in the action for the sake of being calm, for the sake of serenity. Wow. Okay. I get it. Okay. So there's a disturbance, or there's a lot of energy around you. What is this? I'm like rubbing the shit out of my ear right now. Why? Is this like a tick for one of you guys? Oh my God. It wasn't a scratch. I was just like suddenly rubbing the shit out of my my left ear. Anyway, there's a lot of tension around you. This deck, the zombie tarot deck, represents the zombie apocalypse, okay? And I don't know about you, but I've theorized about zombie apocalypse because I like it. It's kind of fun. It's, you know, all the comic books and video games I've ever read or played or just, you know, paid attention to. You know, zombie apocalypse, you know, it's like, are we talking about slow creeping zombies? Are we talking like, you know, ambulatory zombies? They're pretty functional and they can move. Are we talking World War Z type of shit? You know, whatever. But there's a high tension, presumably, when we talk about the zombie apocalypse. Okay, if that's not your bag, please, you know, try to follow me as best as you can in this analogy. There's a lot of anxiety when it's the end of the world, right? In fictional portrayals. In the middle of that chaos, sometimes in these movies, these TV shows, these games that we are aware of, we find a character that's just like calm in the middle of the storm, calm in the middle of the panic, calm in the middle of the dire situation. You know, this is like some this is like somebody scrambling to find a weapon, and one other person calmly goes over, slowly loads a revolver. It's just like, yeah, here we go. You know, it's like that. It's just like you're calmly, or someone around you is being very calm in the middle of a panic, in the middle of all this upheaval, in the middle of all this distress and unrest, right? And that is protective of themselves with the Two of Swords. If you can see this guy, he's blindfolded, right? One zombie has lost its head. The other one, has he cut the wrists? No, the wrists are bound. But this guy, he's not in really any danger on this card, the man who's blindfolded, despite being surrounded by these, you know, the Walking Dead here. So in the middle of some kerfuffle, could be a fight in your house, could be a fight at your job, a fight between you and your partner, whoever, I don't really know just yet. But in the middle, there is this need to stay calm, where you could, where you or someone else could be provoked, could be normally someone who gives into that energy of distress, of anxiety, of unrest, right? That is not happening. Somebody is doing the opposite of what they normally do, or they're doing what is least expected of anyone in the situation. Like in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, you're like going to break out a yoga mat and start doing your mantras? Like, really? You know, I'm being facetious, but I hope you get, like, that's what this feels like. It feels like where normally someone could be convinced or encouraged to speak or act or do something, they do nothing. They decide to sit it out. They decide to take a break. They decide to say nothing, to do nothing, to hear nothing in some cases, ignore something. Okay, that could also be there. Someone could be ignoring to a fault. You know, I'm not going to say this is good or bad. You know, you will have to read into that. You will have to apply that. But it feels like there is this conscious choice to remain uninvolved, to remain silent, to step back and let the cards fall where they may, so to speak. Three of Wands next to it, partnered with it. This is a crazy house. Some of you might be saying that. This is a crazy house. And really it's not. Like, if you see what's going on, these zombies at the bottom of the card are, you know, using a bone as a battering ram to infiltrate, to get into this house where there's a party going on. This is a crazy house. I'm not sensing, someone might be saying that in reference to their own living experience in their own home environment at this time. Someone might be saying this is a crazy house. You're home, the kids are home, the dog and the cat are home. You know, it's a lot of people are on top of one another in our current living conditions. I'm lucky. I only live with one other person. We get along so great, you know, so it's totally cool. But in a house where there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people, who knows how many people live where you are, or maybe you live in an apartment building or a condo and like your neighbors are home and they've got 5 kids and you live by yourself, and it's just like, you know what I mean? It can, you know, these social distancing orders, these stay-at-home orders that many of us are living under, it's really causing many of us to react and perform and behave in ways that we normally would not. So that's what I mean when I say this is a crazy house, okay? You or someone else is observing what's going on around you in your environment, and you're just like, holy shit, what the hell is this, right? And the Three of Wands, more specific to tarot and less to do with the artwork, is about future endeavors, looking down the line, down the road, and plotting a course, having an idea to travel east, to travel west, to travel to the southwest, whatever. Not geographically, but just like, you know, just going forward in life and understanding, okay, if I want to go to this particular location, or if I want to see my life develop in this way, how do I get there? And this is about making plans. This is about aligning with the energy of progression and working in tandem with your circumstances, with the universe, with, all of the things that are going to shape your future moments, and being sort of proactive in that way. That's what we normally see, or we are signaled to talk about when this card comes up. But in tandem, there's a stop to that. Progression is on hold. Progression is, delayed. Now, again, that speaks very much to the current moment at hand, Aquarius. If you were looking to move your home, because the 2 is about decisions and the 3 is about destination or traveling or journeying forward, right? So some of you may have interest in moving, but you cannot move, or you are nervous or not really wanting to do so in the middle of a pandemic. I don't blame you. Makes a lot of sense, okay? Or, the place that you were going to move to, they're like, so we're not taking any new tenants until this whole thing is over. And you're kind of like, but look, I signed that lease back in March. I'm ready to go. But you might have your hands tied like that zombie does down there by his waist. You might have your hands tied because if a leasing office or a realtor doesn't want you to move, or isn't allowing you to vacate your previous residence and come to the new residence, it's kind of like, well, what can you do? So some of you are blocked off from voluntarily or involuntarily from making progress. That's what that is together. High Priestess, Aquarius, secondary major for Cancer. You might be dealing with a Cancer or not. Some people also say this is Pisces. Take your pick. I align it with Cancer because the High Priestess is associated with the moon. So, and Cancer is ruled by the moon. So, High Priestess, listen, this is all well in hand. This is what it's supposed to be. You or other people might be frustrated. There is a little bit of a anxiety here. What's this? What am I doing here? Like, okay, remember I was like rubbing my ears, and now I'm doing like this one hand like rubbing. Like someone might be really anxious, and like physically it's coming through, like through physical tics and this. And I'm not somebody who does this, but the feeling I'm getting is like really tense. That could be a symptom, not not of the virus, no, but it could be a symptom of someone's stress, someone's anxiety, someone who may or may not be coping as well in this situation, you or them or whoever's involved. But there might be this like pent up nervousness, like physical stress, like doing this all day, like, wringing your hands together all day because you're worried about moving and you're concerned about, your finances and your job, and the kids are not in school, and what's going to happen come fall, what's going to happen with their tuition, like all these things. And like wringing your hands together all day is going to eventually, all of that type of energy is going to eventually affect your body physically. So some people might have some physical symptoms of stress right now, and eventually that's going to play on your mental and emotional spaces as well. However, going back to what we were progressing into, because I went back there for 2 seconds between those 2 cards. What's going on in the bigger context, Aquarius, is this is all well taken care of. This is, in some form or fashion, I feel you're being provided for and or looked out for. Now, why do I say that? High Priestess is this cosmic being, in my conception of what this card is. A cosmic energy, a cosmic being, cosmic oversight. Something beyond this world, whether you believe in it or not, is on your side and or helping you navigate this space, okay? Now, does that mean it's favorable in the sense of sunshine and rainbows? No. The High Priestess is, look at the artwork of this card. It's kind of morbid. You've got this shaman or shaman type woman, a priestess, sitting on top of a huge skull, which in the far back you see a nuclear power plant and the moon as well in the sky. In the middle of a landscape that isn't, I don't know many people that look at a nuclear power plant and think, oh my God, that's beautiful. and think of like, tweeting birds and, lollipops and rainbows. I think most people look at a power plant and they're like, I mean, I see it's there, but I'm also kind of like, like with those smokestacks billowing in the background there, right? But on the top of, in front of that scene and on top of the skull, you've got this priestess praying or meditating and being whoever she is, not really daunted by the potential chaos, we'll say, potential chaos that's surrounding her. That is the beauty to me of the high priestess. She sits in a place of knowledge, in a place of recognition that, yeah, some things in life are pretty shitty. And yeah, there's going to be certain things in life that are horrible, that are upsetting to us, that depress us, that make us angry, that make us sad, that make us feel powerless and all this other kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, she's calm in the middle of the storm. I said that over here, didn't I? So maybe this is you, or maybe this is all the same person. Whoever this is in the situation, could be you, someone else, I don't know. Could be both of you, I don't know. Or many people. However, whoever it is. So in the middle of chaos, there's this calmness because there's a knowing with the high priestess. As much as she can acknowledge, and I say she only because it says priestess, this could be a male, it doesn't matter. There's no gender in a general, okay? In the middle of this chaos, there's this serenity and this acknowledgement of, as much as there's darkness in life, there is also light. As much as there is suffering, there is also joy and serenity and giving over into pleasure in life, right? Not everything is dark and gloomy. And even when it is dark and gloomy, there's some type of quote unquote beauty to be had or to be observed or to be sought after or attached to. The high priestess does not give into the polarities of fear and love. The high priestess embraces and acknowledges and resides in both love and fear, or fear and love, right? So there's this higher knowing, higher attunement, higher access point, what have you, that you are in line with or that you're being overseen by. If you're a spiritual person, you kind of are in this vibe. If you're not spiritual, this vibe is around you, whether you're conscious of it or not, and it is on your side. And some of you might be looking at this restriction with social distancing and stay-at-home orders as being a punishment, as being some type of retribution for humanity's terrible deeds. If that's your belief, go ahead and believe that. But I'm feeling like the high priestess is like, that's not even what this is about, Jack. That's not even what this is about, Susan. It's bigger than that. And the high priestess, I find this card in tarot to be one of the most interesting cards. The high priestess is above all that, of looking at something and saying it's chaos and therefore it's terrible, or it's joyful, therefore it's the most beautiful thing. Like honestly, she didn't give a shit, But in our way of perceiving the world, in humanity's way of perceiving what happens in terms of action and reaction, in terms of what is good, what is bad, it might be a little bit of a struggle. But I'm telling you, in your own experience or in some type of spiritual oversight, don't worry. If you're worried, don't worry, is what this feels like. And any loss, any suffering that happens now, there's something about it's taken care of. It is how it's supposed to be. From a divine place is where that's coming from. And I can't go too deeply into it because you're all being affected in different ways. You're all experiencing this in a very specific way to your storyline. But pardon me, what I'm feeling is the high priestess is like, don't even sweat this. Don't even give into this. And again, I said that Two of Swords could be a protective action for some of you. So very interesting. You're probably going to have a very cerebral type reading, Aquarius. That's what this feels like. But let's see. What other messages do you have to give to Aquarius for mid-April? Please show me. Other messages for Aquarius in mid-April. Please show me. Other messages for Aquarius in mid-April. Please show me. I apologize for clearing my throat. I had my weekly coffee, and now my throat is all kinds of screwed up. I need to not have coffee at all, but once a week. See, the devil. Once a week isn't so bad, is it? So further messages. You guys have the Devil and the Hermit. Major Arcana Devil for Capricorn. Major Arcana Hermit for Virgo. You could be dealing with one of those signs or neither or all of them. It really doesn't matter in a general, okay? So somehow, this is forcing a lot of people, you and other signs, Aquarius, to get into this space of what is my deal? What is my problem? Or what is that person's problem? If if you're kind of quote unquote above all that, or you've done your healing, or you are more proactive than someone else, this would be regarding them. Take your pick. But there's a situation, or excuse me, the situation itself. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, I see. I think maybe we'll see. An interest in or particular attention to potential vices and potential attachments and addictions and ways of being or ways of performing or ways of existing, interesting, ways of existing that are detrimental. And that is coming to the forefront here in your reading and possibly in your personal story. And there's the potential for that to be ignored right now. Okay. And see, we were going back to that. So this, okay. They're splitting this off now. They're splitting this off. So this could be another person in your situation. This could be someone that you live with or that you work with or that you're close to. And you can be this person or you could be this person. I think I'm going to read it that way. I think that's what, yes. Okay. They're like, yep. So this is now two different people and how they're both behaving. And it's very similar. It's very similar. Devil. Devil talks to issues of restriction, issues of addiction and codependency and toxicity and all that good stuff, and obsession and possession and overworking or overachieving or achieving at all costs and being kind of ruthless. Now that's a very deep reading of the devil, to be ruthless. That's super, super, super deep. I don't even think most readers would say that's there, but I kind of feel ruthless in the sense of like someone may have a vision of themselves or their role or what they do in life as being essential, not essential in the terms of like related to the pandemic, essential into like, as a blank, I must do blank. As a sister, I must be this to my siblings. As a, tow truck worker, I must do blah. Because of my role, because that's the thing about the devil in its relation to Capricorn, roles, having a particular station in life, having a particular role to play. Because I am this, I have to do that. Okay, that's what I mean about essential. So it is essential as let's go with the archetype of the devil. The devil is associated with Capricorn and Saturn, which also embodies the archetype of the father, as opposed to Cancer and the moon, which is the archetype of the mother. If you want to go further into it in the astrological, or excuse me, the reading into the natal charts of it, that's 10th house versus 4th house. 10th house is the devil. 10th house is Capricorn. 10th house, 10th house. 10th house is about your role in society, your role in a corporation or in the workforce. Who are you? I am the president of blah. Who are you? I work in the mailroom. Who are you? I am head of HR. Who are you? I am the custodian, right? You are defined by your role, okay? So I hope you get what I'm saying. So somebody is heavily invested in their essential role. I am blank, I do blank. And that's the end of it. That's the long and the short of it. I am this, I do that. That tendency of structure is relative or can be easily interpreted as restriction. It limits the self and it limits others. This is a worldview that isn't super expansive. And someone is behaving that way. It's hard for them to see beyond their role. It's hard for them to see beyond who they are, what they are, how they define themselves, how society defines them, how their family defines them, how the situation, whatever, between you or them and you, whatever. The definition is the fact. I don't like that. Go away. I don't like that. Thank you. The definition is the fact. I hope that makes sense to you guys. The definition is the fact. Hermit next door to that card. Secondary major for Virgo. I think I said that before. And here comes the Hermit card, the challenger to that sort of archetype. Because the Hermit, I mean, they're both earth signs, Capricorns and Virgos, right? And so there is some type of fidelity between them, or some type of association between them, because, all elements speak to each other. All signs of the same element speak to each other, and they share similarities. However, the Hermit is interested in diagnosing or analyzing and dissecting the world, and kind of getting to the rhyme and the reason, or fixing what needs fixing. Virgo, 6th house energy, it's all about fixing and nurturing. 10th house is about producing and being and sticking to the plan. And, if you think about that, again, with these astrological aspects, Capricorn is a cardinal sign. Virgo is a mutable sign. One creates, one sets the tone, and the other dismantles. The other takes the tone and says, well, how come? Or maybe the tone could be better, or maybe the tone needs a little bit of a reacclimation, right? So I get the sense that someone is challenging themselves, or they're being challenged by the circumstance at hand, or they're being challenged by an outside source. These two don't mix. Not saying Capricorns and Virgos don't mix. No, I'm saying in this reading, this Devil and this Hermit card, these energies don't necessarily mix. This energy, this Devil wants things to be a certain way. And the Hermit's like, but that way is kind of corny. That way is kind of played out. That way is kind of dated. That way is kind of ineffective. That way is not banging anymore. It's not the way it should be. Let's go ahead and change things. And the Devil says, no. Hermit says, I want to change things, or I think we should explore things differently, or maybe there's an alternative route. And the Devil says, no. Simply, no. The definition is the fact. This is the way it's supposed to be. Hermit's like, maybe not. Okay. So if that's one side, and I'm seeing a conflict. I just explained a conflict, even though I said possibly we're talking about two different people. Okay, I see. There could be an internal struggle with a person's identity. Because again, this is public persona, or not even public. Yeah, public persona, 10th house, who you are in the world, who you are in society, who you are to the outsiders, outside of your home, outside of wherever your personal space is. Who are you? Again, father versus mother dynamic. If we think about, God, look at you. You guys are getting a lesson today. If you think about the archetypes in Western society of what a mother and a father was, say, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, right? Mother was the homemaker, right? She stayed at home. And even beyond the 20th century, 18th century, 19th century, okay? Women have been, quote unquote, domesticated, okay? You stay home, you take care of the kids, you take care of the house, you cook the meals, you make sure, this and that looks good, and blah, 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 right? And the male, the father archetype, would go out in the world and find his identity there. He would express himself and be present in that world as the head of this, as a blah, 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 all these different roles that are played on the outside, right? That's what's going on here. You have someone whose identity that exists outside is being challenged in some way by this Hermit energy. The fixation on the touting or prioritizing of who I am outside to the rest of the world is needing a revival not a revival. I'm sorry, not a revival. What is that? Give me the word. A rewriting. Thank you. Jesus. It needs a rewrite because the Hermit, again, is a challenger to that. Why are you acting that way? Well, because of this. The definition is the fact. People who are this in society have to do that. Hermit says, I don't know. Is that right? Why? Or rather, not even, is that right? Why? Why? Explain it. How come? And so what I'm sensing is there's an internal, if this is one person, it could be more than one person. You might have more. I mean, like I said, some of you are living in a house with 4, 5, 6 people, right? But if this is an internal dialogue, this person is having a crisis of character. They're having possibly an extension, oh my God, an existential, thank you, an existential crisis, a midlife crisis maybe, okay? I feel that someone has been doing something for so long with this devil energy. They've been so committed to a particular role that they play, a particular place in society that they have, or even even in like a dynamic in a family, like a matriarch, not the mother of a nuclear family, like just a set of people in a house. It's like, no, the mother of the cousins and the grandbabies and all that. Like this role, I am this to XYZ people. Therefore, I have to do ABC, you know? Responsibilities, the devil takes very seriously. Saturn, Capricorn, responsibilities and obligations very seriously. And the Hermit respects that, but again, it's like, how come? Why do we do this? Why do you do that? How come? Explain it. Dive into the meaning of what you do. That's the Hermit. Dive into the purpose of your actions, the purpose of your choices, the purpose of your existence in some cases. Again, that existential crisis. If this is just one person, internal conflict. The other person or the other side, whoever it is or however many people it is kind of like similar energy, but the question isn't... Oh, God. Going back to this other person, 2 of Swords, 3 of Wands, excuse me. Up here, this person... I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. What's this? Separation. Thank you. These people are going different ways, different paths. One is being quiet about their path. One is ignoring their path. Okay. And both are guided. Thank you. Okay, so this person down here, Devil Hermit, like existential crisis, possibly like going through an incredible dark night of the soul, which is something I rarely say on this channel because I think it's whatever. So they might be going through a huge, like I said, crisis of character. This person over here, up at the top, might recognize this in the other person and they're bowing out. You know, kind of throwing a deuce on this person. Okay, so you're going through something. Let me go ahead and let you do that. And I'm just going to go about my business, or I'm going to put a hold to future plans with you or in tandem with you or in whatever. This is coming in so many ways. This is like family. This is friends. This is lovers. This is partners in business. This is all those things. Someone is having a real upheaval in themselves personally, while somebody else is kind of like, well, I can't really move on this until you get yourself together, or I can't move it for my own benefit. Okay. In some cases, I can't progress in my own benefit because this person is having a meltdown in some type of way. Oh, wow, that's weird. I just want to get one on each to clarify who is on the top, who's on the bottom. Because again, I feel the High Priestess, if you haven't seen, well, not that you haven't seen, but in my mind, this is sort of like a flow chart where both of these energies flow into the High Priestess. So this whole thing is divinely guided or looked over by some cosmic being, by some force of nature, by some force of the universe. And this is going exactly to plan, but it is a challenge and a half. This is this is so challenging for both parties, but I want to see one on the top and one on the bottom. Who's on the top? Who's on the bottom? Please show me. Who's on the top line? Who is this person? And then we'll move into your oracle card. Who is this person on the top? Who is this person on the top line, please? Okay. The Tower. All right. Secondary major for Aries. Could be an Aries, doesn't have to be. The Tower. And who's the person on the bottom? King of Cups. Water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. All right. Excuse me. So, person on the top, Force of Nature with the Tower card. They might be going through a Tower moment, or they may have gone through a Tower moment, and that could be why they're sort of in this moment of silence or this moment of inaction with the Two of Swords. Go ahead and focus. Thank you. You know, this person might be witnessing things fall apart in their own life or in the life of someone else or in a shared space. And they kind of have, I said that before, hands tied over here. In some cases, that could be what's going on. There's a Tower moment that someone can't. Oh, okay. There might be a Tower moment that befalls this person, but they have nothing to do with it. It's like a secondary Tower. Like, for an example, this could be the child or the dependent or just the non-active party or someone not in a position of power or being able to do much to change the situation, but because of someone else's decisions, again, child possibly on the top, parent on the bottom, possibly, you can't do anything. You know, if you're a teenager, let's say, you're 14, 15 years old, you know, you're mature in certain ways, you're smart in certain ways, but you're still a child, right? And if you're living in a kooky house, and I said that this house is crazy when I was talking about the Three of Wands, this house is crazy. What can you do as a teenager, as a 15-year-old in the middle of quarantine? You can't go to school. If you did have a job, you're probably not working because you were probably doing retail or working at a fast food place or, you know, doing some, you know, side hustles that you can't go to people's houses and, you know, clean up for them or whatever your thing was. You have to be forced to the sideline. That's secondary Tower. Or, well, it could be primary Tower or because you're experiencing it. But I feel as though whoever's on the top, they didn't do anything or they haven't done anything to really contribute to the shakeup in their life that they're experiencing, the shakeup in the situation. They did not contribute to it. They're just kind of experiencing it secondhand, really. Okay. In terms of Tower moments, it doesn't feel that bombastic. It doesn't feel destructive the way that a Tower can be destructive in tarot. Okay. Bottom person, King of Cups. Again, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces might be dealing with one of those signs, but you don't have to be. This person is drowning. I mean, hopefully not literally, okay? But this person is drowning in their emotions. This person is drowning in some huge wave of realization, of emotional challenges or this person is like barely hanging on, it feels like. There's a lot of unrest on their side of things. There's a lot of emotional distress and disharmony within themselves or that they're reacting to and responding to in total. There might be issues with intimate relationships between family and friends. There could just be an issue with the self, but ultimately this King of Cups, male or female, you know, gender does not matter. Notice, okay, thank you. Again, they are trying to put on, or they are really going to the default of, well, I am who I am and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Thank you. Because look at this King of Cups. He's dressed as what? I don't know rankings and stuff, and I don't even know if his uniform is holding official rankings, but this is an official looking person, right? This looks like a high ranking member of the Navy or some type of armed forces. Could be for some of you, and that could be very much in play, that some of you are dealing with someone who has a background in the military or a current career in the military, and the military is very structured. The military is very hierarchy. You are this, you're a lieutenant, you're a captain, you're a general. These are the things you're supposed to do. It's written in the guidelines, it's written in the protocol. There's no wavering from that. There's no wiggle room. And this person, whether they truly believe it or they've been conditioned into believing it or they're going in alignment with their career path, because of who I am, the definition is the fact. I am the captain of this ship. Whether it's a physical, real ship or a figurative ship, I'm the captain of, I am the captain now. Look at me. I'm the captain. Anyway, that could be what's going on here. I'm the captain of the ship in terms of I'm the head of the family. Male, female, doesn't matter. Mother, father, doesn't matter. Grandfather, grandmother, doesn't matter. Brother, sister, doesn't matter. I run the ship. I must do this. However, being in that role, being committed to that role is drowning this person. Listen, I'm going to move on because this down here is definitely harder to deal with than what's up there as a reader. This down here, heavy, you understand? Up there, a little heavy. Not a walk in the park. And that's the thing about the High Priestess. I told you before about her. This energy, your guides, the universe itself, God, whatever, or just a personal understanding of your spiritual self or the other person's spiritual self is not judging it. I feel like somebody here is concerned about the judgment of the situation. Is this right? Is this wrong? High Priestess says it is. There is no right or wrong. It is. Now, let's get an oracle card and close out your reading, Aquarius. The tapping that you hear is because I put my fingers on each of the decks as I allow my guides to choose your message. Which deck for Aquarius's oracle cards, please? Which deck for Aquarius's oracle cards, please? Yeah, okay. These two, which one? This is interesting. The past couple of reads, they've been between two decks. Which deck, please? Okay. Postcards from Spirit. Like this deck, even though I usually get hurt when I shuffle it. Because these edges are sharp, boy. I tell you what. All right, let's get into it. Let's see an oracle message for Aquarius. Ooh, Aquarius, you might get the longest reading. Leo, I think, has the longest thus far. We'll see. Aquarius, an oracle message for Aquarius. Excuse me. Oracle card for Aquarius at this time in mid-April, please. Oracle card for Aquarius. All right. Okay. It's got a little heart on it. Cute. All right, here we go. Dearest you, did you know that when you stop fighting and accept everything exactly as it is right now, miracles start to happen? There is freedom in this kind of radical acceptance. Let go of unrealistic expectations and see things as they really are, not how you'd like them to be. You'll be surprised at how everything seems to fall into place. When you refuse to accept things, life gets messy. You act messy and your world stays in chaos, tension, and disarray. But don't try to force a change or manipulate circumstances. Instead, learn about what is in front of you and face it with your eyes fully open. Then you can decide to stay or go. Ooh, sink or swim. Move or stay still. Acceptance is the key to freedom and opens the door to the real opportunities waiting to be discovered. Set yourself and others free. Loving you so much, always and forever. I'm going to show you that in the camera. Let's go over what we read, class, okay? Number one, I think this is deeply speaking to the person on the bottom line, the King of Cups, Devil, Hermit person, okay? Also speaks to the person on the top line, but they're kind of the secondary player here. You're on either of those lines or you're just watching people. Anyway, listen, what did it say? Accept everything exactly as it is right now. What did I say about the High Priestess? It just is. There is no good, bad, or anything else. It is. Radical acceptance. Freedom in this kind of radical acceptance. Let go of unrealistic expectations. Devil card, Capricorn energy. The definition is the fact. What? When you refuse to accept things, life gets messy. You act messy, and your world stays in chaos. Tower moment. This whole deck being a zombie apocalypse. That's the chaos. That's the confusion. That's the life being messy, right? Try to force a change or manipulate circumstances. Don't try to do that. Rather, don't try to force or change. Listen, I'm not gonna continue to read it line by line. I think for those that it needed to resonate with, it does. I feel that this person on the bottom line has a lot that they need to reconcile with personally. And I'm not sensing that this is a terrible person. I'm not sensing on the bottom that this is somebody who's rude or evil or has malintent. Not at all. That King of Cups, related to the water element, nurturing, caring, loving, forgiving, does tend to have an easier time of accepting things because there's sympathy there. But with the Devil and the Hermit, this person is caught up and possibly not able to act in a compassionate way towards themselves. Listen, I'm not going to go into this because that could go on forever. Aquarius, if you got a message from this, if it resonated with you, I hope you liked the video. I hope you would leave me a comment. Let me know how this resonated. If you share, or excuse me, care to share that information publicly, that's cool. If you want to share the video, let other people know you like my stuff, also cool. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel. New clients every day, new members of the crew that we're building here. The number goes up. I'm meeting more people, and I'm enjoying that work as a reader. Hopefully you're enjoying it as a member of the crew or a member of my audience. So if you want to show support to the channel, feel free to do any and all of those things. Feel free to get at me if you want a personal reading. That information, again, is in the description box. And again, I'm over at IG at EmpathicFire Tarot, okay? Aquarius, I'll be back very soon, probably next week, to do your May messages and then your mid-Mays after that. Hopefully I will see you at some time in the future. I thank you guys so much for watching. Take care.